animal diversity. It's the orders, the classes, the families that make up Animalia's taxonomy. They are closer with more recent ancestry. Biodiversity in any one space is the measurement of organisms in a location, but it turns out it's a little more complex, and that's why we need different diversity indexes. Sure, money doesn't grow on trees, but the richness of an area ain't hard to see if you just count the number of species. The abundance is population of each. Animals are a mighty big kingdom with an interconnected, ever-changing system, so we'll reconstruct the phylogeny that leads to animal diversity. Let's go back to the original Metazoan. Sponges filter in the water down in the ocean, goes in through the ostia, out through the osculum. Coenocytes provide the Hickman system. Periphery got no tissues, no issues. They got cells, collagen, and spicules. Asymmetrical, no axis, got 4 classes. Another little thing we find in the ocean is the asymmetrical free-living placozoan, a really simple little pancake, but real hair and not to my taste. Oh, we're on the move when Idarians get in the groove. The first with true tissues, diploblastic with a blind guide, and on the outside epithelium, mesoglia inside, but it's not alive. Can be a polyp, anemone on the ground, or Medusa, jellyfish swimming all around, with a mouth either up or down, with tentacles that surround it, and if you touch them you might get stung. The coral reef supports so much diversity, but we're losing them when the corals get bleached. When the ocean temperature rises, there's Xanthale that lives inside gets thrown. Lots of animals lose their homes. The ctenophores, they swim out first and use their coloblast cells to put food into their bells, or they just open wide and shove their prey inside. Their rainbow so bright, cilia refract the light. Triploblastic embryos come onto the scene in Bilateria. Mesoderm gives body cavities, complete and through gut. Cephalization moves all the sense organs to the head, the anterior and statocyst, tiny balls for orientation in the coelomorphs, which in combination with the xenoturbellum make xenocoelomorpha a new phylum. Let's go to Locotrophozoa, include the flatworms, Platyhelminthes, they're a coelomates, mesoderm packed around the cavity. Have you ever had swimmer's itch, then you've been sucked on by a blood fluke? And if you eat a pork tapeworm, you can get anemia or cysts in your brain tissue. They're mostly parasites, their skin can glide and stick, and they're hermaphrodites who fence with their copulatory organs. Go outside, dig up some dirt, and in it you might find a segmented earthworm that's an annelid in class Cotella with the leeches who will suck your bladder. Also in the annelids are the polychaetes. They can run around with parapodia or be stuck in the ground and be sedentary. Have you ever seen a little worm who looks kinda like a peanut? Well, then you've seen a peanut worm. It used to be its own phylum, Mollusca. The ones that you eat, you can open their shells to get to their fleshy bodies. Got the head, foot to sense and to feed, with a radula, a rib and a teeth, and for locomotion sometimes a siphon, jet propulsion on land, freshwater, ocean, sometimes mucus to aid in motion. The head, foot is attached to the visceral mass, contains internal organs, stomach, nephridium, gills and gonads, and the heart. Inside of the coelom, inside of the mantle, outer surface epithelium makes the shell in 3 layers, periostracum, prismatic, and the nacre. When they get irritated, when something gets under their skin, they cover it with nacre, make a pearl for protection. There are so many types who look nothing alike. The plate chordates, chitons like armadillos, the horny, the wormy, deep sea or shallow on land, like snails, like slugs, and bivalves who have no radula, cephalopods, your squids and your nautilus, octopuses, and your cuttlefish. They've got 8 arms and sometimes 2 tentacles, more than 1 heart, but they're still vicious predators. They can blend in or cause confusion with melanin or an illusion. The rest of Larson is real small, but we would lose 1/3 of life today if we lost them all. The Lophophorids all feed with a tentacle crown filled with coelom to move the water down to their mouths inside, while their anus is out. Trochophores are a type of larva in mollusks and annelida, a little ball-shaped thing in water covered in cilia. Nemertea doesn't fit with the other groups, but it looks real awesome when it shoots its proboscis out of its Ryan seal, pull an annelid in for its meal. Arthropods, the tardigrades, the nematodes, anything that molts as ecdysozoa. If they have a cuticle they shed to go from juvenile to grow, isn't it beautiful, ecdysozoa? First off, there are the nematodes, the thrashing, crashing things that you find almost anywhere you go. 80% of life on Earth are tiny little round worms. Don't you just love being covered in nematodes? The lobopods with unjointed feet, your velvet worms, don't they look sweet? And tardigrades, the water bears that can survive anywhere. And arthropods, hard but light, excellent hearing, intricate eyes, fast metabolism, jointed legs, and complex behavior. Social populations, metamorphosis allows for more resources. Larvae and adults can eat from different sources. They've got a head, thorax, abdomen, tegma, many segments with a common function. Creepy crawlies everywhere, chelicerates on your body and your hair. Myriapods have too many feet, head, trunk, centipedes, and millipedes. Okay, here's the crustaceans, lobsters and crabs, and thorax covered with a carapace. Krills, copepods, barnacles, and shrimps, important parts of the ecosystem. They can stick on a fish, stick on the ships, foods and pets, and tiny dentists. Hexapods, my 6-legged buds, includes the insects, flying bugs, beetles and butterflies, grasshoppers, bees, crickets and houseflies, wasps and fleas, tree hoppers, katydids, and weevils more. So much diversity for us to explore. Deuterostomes with radial cleavage. When each cell is formed, they don't know what they'll be yet. Can have identical twins, no specific roles. Did you know we were all once little assholes? Pentaradial symmetry, echinodermata have water-filled tubes coming out their ambulacra. Sea cucumbers, water lilies, starfish, a keystone species, brittle stars with brittle arms, urchins with spines, a scar, and hemichordata, not chordates at all. Stomach core, so notochord, it's just their mouth, y'all. Speaking of the notochordates in our final phylum, chordates are the most complex, but they're not more evolved. A chordate can look like anything, worm-like or tunicate. It contains the vertebrates, brains, craniums around it, jawless and jawed fishes, free or parasitic can be. Shark skates raised with their cartilage skeletons. They can trap their prey with their excellent senses. Sharks can smell far away, blood in the water, and the rest survey for crabs and lobsters to eat. Eek, ratfish, freaky teeth. The fish we know and love to eat, with bones and scales that make them sleek, and swim bladders that come from lung scales covered by bony operculum. The lungfish and the coelacanths, the lobe-fin fishes, their sisters began to walk on land. Hey, it's all relative, yeah. The tetrapods, 4 legs, better lungs, bigger arms, bigger bones, lifted neck and toes. Amphibians, the frogs, the salamanders, thin skin and close to water to make their sons and daughters. Amniotic eggs, breathable shells, allow us to live away from water. Reptiles, turtles, snakes and lizards, gators and crocs, dinos and birds who fly in the sky with the wings and feathers. They're warm-blooded like little heaters like us. The mammals, the furry, the hairy, got mammary glands and make babies dairy. I hope this left you full of wonder about what more we can discover. But as we're spreading out, we're gonna be missing out. Cause if we don't conserve the diversity, there'll be nothing left for us to see. Vertebrates are in danger, I fear, fell 60% in the last 50 years. And for conservation, we need many populations to reduce extinctions with climate change resistance. We've gotta work together to treat nature better, build up, not out, improve agriculture. The movement's gaining traction, young people pushing for political action. Magnificent creatures roam the earth, flying or swimming, digging in dirt, on land, in the air, or in the sea. Microscopic or big as can be, I hope you learn to love it so you won't give it up. It's animal diversity.